Good evening, citizens of Myersville and surrounding area. Welcome, Comrade Palwell, Comrade Spencer. I'm so happy for this meeting. The only disappointment, I expect the turnout to be better. The concerns that we are having with Jisco Alpart is unbearable. But before I touch into it, I want to touch on one point that the spokesperson earlier on said about the water situation. There's an error when he said that Alpart gave the money to put in the water system and it is not done. So Palwell, Alpart said they would have put, I think it was $30 million towards the system. Because it takes so long, Alpart did not deliver their part of the funding. JBI delivered their part, but Alpart did not deliver that part. That water system was negotiated for by former Member of Parliament, Derek Rochester. And the reason why he negotiated for that system, because of the alumina dusting, when majority, if not all, the citizens in and around the plant rely on water harvesting, where they catch the water from their roof into their tanks, could not drink the water because of the dusting from the alumina plant and from the mud lake. They negotiated with Alpart to dig a well and to put the water in the Alpart Essex Valley, which consists of 45 communities. The plan at that time was for Alpart to put 30 million, JBI to put 30 million, and the rest would have been put by the government. Alpart dug the well, and that was it. Nothing else was done from Alpart's side. The pipes were run to Nain, coming up to 2011. Then the pipe from 2011 up to 2016 was run to Junction. To date, nothing else have happened excepting that between 2011 and 2016, the electricity was put in place, the pumps were ordered, and since 2016, the pumps have been put in, the reservoir in Nain have been put in. To date, nothing else have been done. The understanding that I get from NWC is that they want to put the system in place to get the water into Junction with only the Myersville housing scheme benefiting from that water system. And then the rest will go to Junction. And we don't know when the rest of communities along the line who are being affected by the pollution from Alpart will get the water. And I said, over my dead body as councillor for the Myersville division, we won't allow that to happen. If I me want to go to block the road, we will do it, because it cannot happen. Right now, they are testing the lines, Mr. Palwell. They are testing the line. They have completed the work in Nain, so they wanted to put the system in place now to get the water into Junction, where their big Natch and their big friends would benefit. And the people in Al Valley, Warminster, Russell, New Building, Aston, Balbec, Nain, Content, Birmingham Hall won't get the water. And I'm saying to you, whenever you hear I call and say we are ready, because we won't allow this water to go into Junction without the citizens in the district around the plant who have been affected by the pollution get some of this water. I'm going to touch on the main issues now, ladies and gentlemen. I've gone to meetings with Alpart Community Council, community reps concerning the severe problems we're having in and around the plant. There are so many breaches, and the community reps can say to you, I've gone to meetings, I've walked out of meetings. The managing director faced it with me. I walked out of meetings just to get satisfaction for the citizen in and around the plant. You have more than one issues. You have the nuisance of the smell coming out of the plant. If you walk or drive along the road from Myersville into Nain, early morning, late evening, you can't fetch your breath. You have two different types of dusting. You have the dusting from the RDA, which is the red dust coming from the mud lake. And you have the dusting from the plant itself, which is the alumina dust, which comes with also with the caustic. That is affecting the residents of these areas. What has been happening? When the dust blows, Alpart send their representative to investigate, which to me is totally can't right. How can you send your representative from your plant to do your investigation? Secondly, how can you send a person to investigate without no form of instrument? Are you two eyes you are coming to do investigation with? And when you come with a piece of white tissue to wipe white dusting. Mr. Palwell, it can't be. You can't wipe the surface with white tissue. Please listen. I want to hear me. You can't wipe the surface with white tissue to find white dust. You can wipe it for the red dust, but can't be with the white tissue for the white dusting. I have gone to several meetings. I have said to Alpart, instead of going around with this dusting and this investigation, come together, put in a monthly compensation package for the citizens who have been affected until we can do the relocation. We have sent it over and over and over, and Alpart decided not to accept it. Whenever they are sending the new trend now, whenever they are sending their investigators, they are sending police with the investigators as if the citizens are criminals. It can't be right. This is totally unaccepted. Right? For example, in February, we have 12 days of extreme dusting from the RDA. In the heavy wind, the breeze blow left, right, and center. 12 days. And the community representative sending those 12 days. And Alpart telling the citizens now that they are not paying for more than 7 because they did not find any evidence for 5. Come on. This is unacceptable. And when I heard the response from Alpart on the TV last night, Mr. Palwell, it grieves my heart to know that we, the citizen, I would love for you just to listen. I would love for this Alpart to think the persons who are making this decision live in a Mandeville or Monroe or Clarendon. They are not here to see what the citizens are going through for them to be making these decisions. It can't, Mr. Palwell, when you look at the household, the policy that Alpart has is that a 1-bedroom gets $5,000 for each blow-off that they find the evidence. 2-bedroom gets $7,500. When I asked them, they said they are paying for the cleaning back of your house. They are not paying for the citizens who are being affected. They are paying for the cleanup of the house. When I ask them, what method do you use to calculate to come to that 7,500? They are telling me that how much is bleach, how much is soap, how much is that. I'm telling you, it's unbearable. I have gone to several meetings. I've made several recommendations to Alpart. But you know, it seems as if Jisco Alpart take us for granted. I'm not hearing myself. What has happened is that we as a citizen have to blame ourselves too. Mr. Palwell, a young man there give you a document. It's a hush document. A hush document that have been given with the check after the compensation check is ready. A document that says you cannot or should not disclose the compensation that you got. If you do so, the company has the right to ask you to repay your compensation. That's an hush document. When I first come upon the document, I said to the citizen, don't you dare sign to it. I go to a committee council meeting and I said it, and they said, don't think about it. Just do what you have to do. What I'm really seeing from some of the citizens, because we are in a poor community, we are not working, we feel say, whenever give away one 7 payment, that's 7,500, which is a $50,000 a money, and a money that. It's time for us to come together and say, go away with your money. We don't want that. The little money they're giving you is nothing to your health. And I'm saying, when we drink the water, when we eat the vegetables, when we eat the fruits, when we inhale the smell inside of us, are damaged. And soon and very soon, all of us in the area will be dying. But the citizens have to make a decision. And going forward, what we are to do. What have happened? The water situation, I went to them, Mr. Paul, and I said to them, because of the water that we have to be harvesting, you need to give the citizens some black drums. And you need to chuck water to the citizens. What they have done, they have started it in 2 phases so far in Lower Hamister, but they have not reached majority of the citizens. When you look at a community rep and you give them 3 loads of water for the month, 3 loads of water, you give Charmaine 3 loads of water for the month for Al Valley. What can 3 loads of water do? What can it do? You soon come to you. Soon come to you. Mr. Palwell, what I'm saying, we all are happy to see Alpart reopen. But the reopening of Alpart is good in one way, but it is bad in another way. Because our health is being affected, has been affected by Alpart. And the grief part of it is that Alpart cares nothing about us. They are doing what suits them best. And what suits them best is killing us. What we suggested to them, and Charmaine can tell you, I suggested to them they need to get something scientific to do the testing. They need to put in a monthly compensation package until the relocation. There was an MOU. There was an MOU from 2009 for the relocation of the residents of Lower Warminster and Swanhill. It was 45 households. The plan closes at 2009. We are now at 2019. We went to several meetings for the relocation to restart. They said they are willing to start the relocation from last year. They said they will start with 10 between Lower Warminster and Swanhill. That have not taken place. They come and they say 15, and today, now is April, nothing has happened. But the worst thing about it, with the relocation, it seems to me that because they have a plan, that they say they are coming up with a plan to put the RDA, which is the mud lake, with some technology, that it will reduce the dusting from the mud lake down to probably a 5%. So therefore, it would not need for relocation. We don't see that evidence as yet, so we cannot accept that. And the worst thing, Lower Warminster consists of a wide cross-section. I think it's 125 households. And what the MOU says, that the relocation will only include the persons on the lower road. That means that all the persons on the upside and the top road would not be in the relocation as we speak. Those are the persons who are mostly affected. Because when the casket blow, it blow right up into up to top Warminster, Folly, Brunswick. Yes. So therefore, it can't be that you're going to come now and remove the people on the bottom road, and then the people on the top road will be left in the wilderness. You must come with a package that we relocate everybody from the Lower Warminster area. What we heard on the news, Stephen Run are calling for relocation now. So we're going to call the next problem. When in fact, majority of the dusting comes this side because the wind blows this side. Mr. Palwell, I'm telling you, it's rough. It's very, very rough with what's happening. Right now, Alpart is doing some things to the residents of this area which is unaccepted. We know that they have their water line run through the community. Yes, people put illegal connection on it because they need water for farming. Just the other day, a situation arises where a young man, 17 years, was working into a field, a time garden. Some illegal connection was there with water. Two men walk into the garden. No form of identification, no form of uniform. Went in, said to the youth, who put on this water? The youth said, I don't know. 3 times, the youth said, I don't know. The man pulled gun, put on the youth face. Put on the youth face. City staff come in and get involved. The man, you don't know what he could do. When it come to my knowledge, and I call a meeting with the public relations officer, the citizen from New Building, and the young man, the excuse from the security company is that they feel threatened because the man have a machete in their hand. How in heaven's dream can you come into my garden, Me a weed grass, I mean if you have a machete in my hand. These are the things that is happening. We have asked for a meeting with the security company. To date, Mr. Palwell, we have not received that meeting. What I'm saying, when I listen to the response by the company last night on TV, or it was the night before on TV, to some of these issues, they have not answered the question that the media person asked them. We need to know what are the methods you use in doing your investigation to pay me $7,500 per household. We need to know what instrument your workers have to do these. These are some of the things that we need to hear from Alpart. I'm going to say this, which might be controversial, but I care not. The community reps who are representing the community need to have dialogue with the people so they can tell the people what is happening. Because for too long, the citizens are saying they are not hearing what is coming out of the meetings. Somebody raised a concern earlier. Who are the community reps represent? I know for sure. I can say it without doubt. Charmaine, Sovra, they are two good representatives who talk for you when they come to meeting. I can tell you that. They talk for you when they come to meeting. So what I'm saying to you, you need to call upon the community rep. You need to make representatives and tell them what to do. Because, Mr. Palwell, I'm telling you this as the councillor for Mayersville. If we can hear something better after tonight's meeting, if we can hear something better from Alpart, I am ready to lead the demonstration to Alpart to make sure we get better. And I am saying this, and I don't care. When we go to Alpart Community Council meeting, sometimes they want to shut us up. But Charmaine will tell you, I'm not afraid to talk. Because hear what? I make it clear to them. You, the citizens who vote for me as council to send me to Black River, and you are paying me, and your Alpart are paying me. Right? So therefore, I am going to represent you. And as I said, if we need to block the gate, we're going to block it until we get better representation from Alpart. So any day you hear me say, we're ready for march or Alpart, we're ready. Mr. Palwell, hear why I'm saying all this. The managing director at a community council meeting, Charmaine can say it. He comes at the meeting, he said, the community is the number one priority for him. He said the number two priority is environment. And to date, Mr. Palwell, we have not seen a community development. I have gone there and I have said to them, if you want to have the good work of a citizen, give me some community development. They asked me what I want. I said to them, give us some roads. Give us a lab at the high school in Nien, which can do testing for you. We have so many empty community centers. Put in the infrastructure and do your training for your own workers there. He said yes. They asked me for estimate for 4 roads. And from last year, I have given them. And to date, I have not heard nothing at all. The lower one, Mr. Road, I said to them in a meeting, a parish council road that you use it 24/7 to go to your RDA. And the condition of the road, not even donkey can walk on it. You need to fix it. They asked me for the estimate. I gave them from January to date, not even a respond. And I'm telling you, Mr. Palwell, and I'm saying it to the media, if the end of May come and we don't get anything from them, me going to stop them and you stop them from using the lower Mr. Road to their mud lake, but cut to private road and go on the mud lake. Because if you are driving on the road and you can't fix it after you have damaged everybody, why are you here? When I look at Appleton, Appleton do a lot of development, and that's a sugar company. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they are not doing anything for the community. When the community council come and give you some stimulus package for a 5,000 voucher for some farmers, and they come and they spend $12 million every year for education, that is nothing to talk about to the citizens who have been affected day in, night in, and everything. You need to give us some community development. Give us some better living if you want us to work with you. And these are so many things that I'm saying, Mr. Palwell, that we need to hear from Alpart management going forward. And I'm putting that ultimatum to you as a spokesperson. And mining. I know you have good relationship. I know you have good relationship with Alpart management. You were the one who negotiated for the Alpart to be reopened. So I'm saying to you, you need to sit down with them. You need to tell them the concerns that we are having this evening and to make them do better. Because I'm telling you, the entire division that I represent, which is Mayersville, Alpart is in the middle of it, and it affects every single person in my division. And I am under pressure, left, right, and center, to see better living for us. So I'm telling you, I am upset, I am mad, and I am ready to take to the road to make sure the citizens of Mayersville Division gets better. They have better living, better water to drink, everything going forward, or else it won't be business as usual. And I say that now until if a question being asked later on, I will answer. Thank you.
Good evening again, friends and family. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming out to this community meeting. I want to thank Comrade Palwell for coming all the way from Kingston. I want to thank the Councillor Leighton Smith for coming to speak to us tonight. The councillor basically covered everything. I don't think I have much to say. And I want to pause for a second, because a lot of times the councillor don't get the credit to him supposed to get, because a lot of the things that he does it behind closed doors. So I want to stop for a minute. I want the community to give Councillor Smith a round of applause. Everything you hear the councillor outline a while ago, we have had private discussions. I am fully aware of what he does inside the Alpart in terms of representation. And let me tell you this, members of the community who come out today. We do not have a member of parliament in Southeast St. Elizabeth that is looking about Mayersville business. This is not a political meeting, but Alpart does only... I want to listen to me good enough. Alpart does not speak to persons who are not elected representatives. So I am not privy to a lot of the meetings that take place. I have to rely on the councillor for a lot of the information. Alpart won't speak to me directly. So it is very difficult for me to push the agenda of the communities. But this councillor is working in silence for the community, and I am right there with him. We brought lawyers into Mayersville. We brought NEPA into Mayersville. We brought environmentalists into Mayersville. I was privy to one of the meetings, sitting there, made some suggestion, and till now, None of those suggestions have been considered. Playtime in Myersville is over. Get the message out there. We don't play. In 2015, the company approached me to do medicals on their behalf for when the dusting blew. 2015. This is long before my life in politics. And for all the persons who have visited my office before, be honest with yourself. I try my best as a medical doctor to help as best as I can. I'm going to be, as it relates to health, I'm going to be putting forward some suggestions to the company. First and foremost, I think there should be routine chest x-rays at a bare minimum for all the members being affected by the dust. I'm going to ask them to bring persons in and do routine eye checks as a bare minimum. It can't stop here. I know when persons visit my office, and recently know them add on other doctors, because we know how the thing go when little thing come into play. But I am still doing my job. But I want you to understand this. On one hand, I have a duty to provide medical care. On the other hand, I have a bigger duty to represent the people of Southeast St. Elizabeth, and I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. I have brought many persons here to make representation on your behalf. You might know about it, you might not. And tonight, I've asked the opposition spokesman on mining and energy, to come. We walk the communities. He was here in January, walking Lower One Minister, brought him into the Myersville housing scheme, and we went into All Valley. I wanted him to see firsthand what the community members are experiencing. And him can tell you, him feel it to the bones. So I am sure that come next week when we sit with the company, it won't be business as usual. Members who are inside here and outside, wherever you are listening to us, please, when we ask for the support to make representation on your behalf, give us the support. You hear the councillor say, if it take leading a demonstration, give us the support. Because whatever we do, it is to your benefit. I don't want to go much further in terms of presentation, because Councillor Smith did a beautiful presentation on all that is being done and all that will be done. I want to ask the Member of Parliament, all the way from East Kingston and Port Royal, to say a few words, and then we're going to have maybe just 5 minutes. 5 minutes for pertinent questions and feedback for media purpose, and so we can make proper representation to the company. So members who are here, I want you to welcome MP Philip Powell. This evening we invited residents living in and around the Alpart Jisco plant to discuss the environmental, health and water issues that have been affecting the communities. It was a great meeting, the turnout was lovely, the discussion was healthy, and we plan to bring these suggestions into Alpart and for them to respond in a timely manner so that the residents can no longer be affected by these issues. What has been happening is that the Member of Parliament is hiding, has been hiding from the persons, and I took it upon myself to bring representation into the company so that the residents can benefit going forward.
I'm happy for this meeting because basically I've been going into Alpart week after week representing the city staff, the surrounding communities around Alpart. What has been happening is unacceptable. The people living in and around the area have been affected greatly. What has been happening, whenever especially you have this dust blow off from the RDA, it affected the citizens of Lower Warminster, Upper Warminster, Bromsey, Myersville, Austin, All Valley, New Building. And the company have been doing this compensation with personnel from their plant who are doing the investigation, which is unacceptable.